If you're thinking about buying a Gulf Access Canal home here in Cape Coral, Florida, there are a few things you absolutely need to understand before you buy. Because two waterfront homes that look very similar online can offer completely different boating experiences, lifestyle, and long-term value. I've seen buyers purchase a beautiful Gulf Access home to realize afterwards their boat doesn't fit under the bridge. The ride to open water is much longer than expected, the seawall or dock needs major work, or the canal simply doesn't fit the lifestyle they imagined. Now, most out-of-town buyers have no idea how different one canal can be from the other here in Cape Coral. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 biggest things you need to know before buying a Gulf Access home here in Cape Coral. And make sure you stay through the end, because number 5 is where I see buyers make some of the biggest and most expensive waterfront mistakes. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor, and I specialize in helping buyers understand not just the house itself, but the boating lifestyle, canal systems, seawalls, bridges, and neighborhood differences that come with the waterfront living here in Southwest Florida. All right, let's jump in. Not all Gulf Access homes are the same. Now, this is probably the biggest misconceptions buyers have when they first start looking at waterfront homes online. A lot of buyers think if it says Gulf Access, I can jump in my boat and be in open water in just a few minutes. Now, sometimes that is true. Sometimes it's definitely not. Cape Coral has over 400 miles of canals, both freshwater and saltwater, and your boating experience can vary dramatically depending on where the home is located. Some homes offer direct river access, no bridges, wider canals, and very quick routes to open water. Others may involve more canal navigation, idle speed boating, tighter canal systems, bridges, or significantly longer times. Now, for example, some homes in areas like Palaco Grand or the Yacht Club can offer extremely quick access to the Caloosahatchee River, which is a huge advantage for buyers who plan to boat frequently. Meanwhile, some Southwest Cape homes along the South Spreader Canal system may offer wider water views, incredible sunsets, and more privacy, but depending on the location, the boating route may be a bit different. And then in Northwest Cape Coral, especially near the Born Store Road Corridor and Seven Islands area, buyers are often attracted to the newer construction and future growth potential. The trade-off there is that some boating routes can be longer depending on where you're located in the canal system. None of these areas are necessarily better or worse. It really comes down to your lifestyle. If you plan to boat several times a week, head offshore, go island hopping, or boat to waterfront restaurants, then boating efficiency matters a lot. But if you mainly want the waterfront lifestyle, beautiful water views, a dock in your backyard, occasional boating, and a newer home, then you may prioritize something completely different. This is why I always tell buyers, you're not just buying a house, you're buying the canal, the boating route, the neighborhood, the bridge situation, and the lifestyle attached to that location. And one of the things I do with buyers is actually map out the boating route before they purchase, because what looks good online may not always match how you want to use the boat in real life. And by the way, if you're relocating to Cape Coral and trying to understand the differences between Gulf Access neighborhoods, boating access, bridges, or which waterfront areas may fit your lifestyle best, I offer a complimentary Zoom consultation for out-of-town buyers. We can go over the canal systems, boating routes, neighborhood differences, the types of homes that may fit what you're looking for before you make that decision. We even go over flood zones. There's a link below in the description, so go ahead and click that link and contact me. And number 2, bridge height can completely change what type of boat that you can own. Now, this is a huge one in Cape Coral. A lot of Gulf Access homes are located behind fixed bridges, and many of those bridges are around 8 to 9 feet of clearance at high tide. For some buyers, that's no problem at all. But if you own a larger center console, a taller T-top, a tower boat, or a sailboat, or a larger offshore fishing boat, bridge clearance becomes extremely important. I've seen buyers fall in love with a house before realizing their boat may not fit under the bridge. That's why you'll hear the term sailboat access. Now in Cape Coral, sailboat access generally means that there are no fixed bridges between the property and open water. Those homes tend to command a premium because they work for a much wider range of boats and buyers. Now, that doesn't mean bridged access homes are bad. Actually, some bridge Gulf Access homes can be incredible values. You may get a larger home, newer construction, better finishes, a larger lot, or a better overall price point. But the key is making sure the property fits your boating goals. For example, some Southwest Cape neighborhoods may have beautiful golf access homes with bridges that work perfectly for mini center consoles, but may not work for taller vessels. That's why when I work with waterfront buyers, we evaluate bridge clearance, boat height, canal width, turning radius, and boating usability, not just the house itself, because boating functionality directly affects both your enjoyment and future resale value. The waterfront infrastructure matters more than most buyers realize. Now, the third thing buyers need to understand is that with waterfront homes, the seawall, dock, and lift are major parts of the property. A lot of out-of-town buyers underestimate this. Most buyers walk outside, see the water view, and immediately picture themselves sitting on the lanai, poolside with a coffee, or taking the boat out at sunset. And that part is amazing, but we also need to evaluate the condition of the waterfront itself. That means the seawall, dock, pilings, boat lift, electrical, canopy, and overall usability for your boat. And these items can become expensive very quickly if repairs are needed. Now, one thing I always tell buyers, slow down when you get to the backyard. Don't just look at the water, look at the infrastructure. We want to evaluate cracking, leaning seawalls, erosion, dock condition, lift capacity, and whether the setup actually fits the boat you own or plan to own. Now, another huge factor is canal width. Some canals are narrower and more difficult for larger boats to maneuver. Other homes may sit on intersecting canals, oversized canal basins, or much wider water views, which are often more desirable and more valuable. Now, this is one of the reasons why two homes with similar square footage can have dramatically different prices in Cape Coral. The canal itself matters. The boating experience matters. The water views matter. And buyers who understand these differences usually make much better long-term waterfront decisions. Now, some of the best boating locations have older homes, and that's not always a bad thing. One thing I've learned helping waterfront buyers over the years is this: some of the best boating locations in Cape Coral are actually older neighborhoods. Areas closer to the river, like parts of Southeast Cape Coral, the Savona neighborhood, and areas along El Dorado Parkway East often offer quicker boating access, wider canals, mature landscaping, and incredible boating lifestyle appeal. But many of these homes were also built decades ago, so buyers need to understand the full picture. An older waterfront home may come with an older roof, lower elevation, older plumbing and electrical, outdated windows, or higher insurance cost. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad purchase. In fact, sometimes buying an older home in superior boating location can be a much smarter long-term decision than buying a newer home farther from the open water. But buyers need to understand the trade-offs. This is where local waterfront knowledge really makes a difference, because sometimes the right move is buying the better boating location and updating the house over time. And other times, buyers prefer newer construction, better elevation, newer building codes, less flood risk, and lower insurance exposure. This is especially true for some buyers looking in Northwest Cape Coral, where they find newer homes, larger lots, and newer infrastructure, while also betting on the long-term growth around areas like Seven Islands and Burnt Store Road. Again, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It comes down to your priorities, and this is why I always recommend buyers evaluate the total cost of ownership: insurance, flood zones, seawall condition, roof age, boating access, dock condition, and long-term resale value. Because with waterfront homes, you're buying much more than just the house itself. Number 5, the best golf access home is usually about understanding the right trade-offs. This is where I see buyers make the biggest mistakes. A lot of buyers come to Cape Coral wanting no bridges, quick boating access, newer construction, wide canal, southern rear exposure, modern finishes, low insurance, a pool, a big dock, and a great price. And yes, those homes exist, but they usually come at a premium. So most buyers eventually realize they need to prioritize what matters most for their lifestyle. Would you rather have faster boating access or a newer home? No bridges or more square footage? A wide intersecting canal view or a more updated interior? Proximity to the river or lower insurance costs? These are the real-world decisions waterfront buyers face every day in Cape Coral. For example, some buyers absolutely love the yacht club area because of the boating lifestyle and quick river access, even if the homes are older. Other buyers prefer Southwest Cape because they love the spreader canal views and privacy. And some buyers choose Northwest Cape because they want newer construction and believe strongly in the future growth of the potential in that area. Now, none of these choices are wrong. The key is understanding what lifestyle fits you best, because the goal is not finding a perfect house. The goal is finding the right waterfront lifestyle. That's why I always say when you buy a Gulf access home in Cape Coral, you're not just buying real estate, you're buying boating, sunsets, waterfront living, island weekends, restaurants by boat, dolphins in the canal, and a completely different lifestyle than most people are used to. But buyers who truly understand canal systems, boating routes, bridges, seawalls, insurance, and neighborhood differences usually make much smarter waterfront decisions long term. And if you're serious about relocating to Cape Coral or buying a Gulf access home here in Southwest Florida, I offer a complimentary Zoom consultations for out-of-town buyers. We can go over waterfront neighborhoods, boating access, bridge restrictions, seawall considerations, canal differences, and which areas may fit your lifestyle and budget best. There's a link below in the description if you'd like to schedule a call. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel because I make a lot of videos focused specifically on Gulf access homes, boating lifestyle, waterfront neighborhoods, and what buyers really need to know before making a move to Cape Coral. And I'll continue bringing you more videos like this in the future. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor, and I look forward to helping you navigate your move to Southwest Florida.